What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, looking at Poison Jab Toxicroak in the Ultra Premier League. As you probably already know, Poison Jab got a buff in Season 8, and it now does more damage. But how does it stack up against Counter? Well, it still does slightly less damage than Counter while putting out the same amount of energy gains. So it seems like Counter would be better, but there's a lot of things that are weak to Poison in the Ultra Premier League, so I figured maybe this is the league that it would really shine in. So you can see in this first matchup, I pick up a lead against a Charmer. I'm doing super effective damage with the Poison Jabs. That means I don't have to worry about landing a Sludge Bomb, whereas if I was running Counter, I would have to land that Sludge Bomb. So that's a much better lead. Now they did still get to throw at me, but my Toxicroak is still 3 power-ups short of being fully excelled. So if you had a fully excelled Toxicroak, I think I would have been able to farm all the way down after landing 1 Mud Bomb, and that would have been a really good lead for me. Now, they were able to get my last shield off with their Talonflame. However, I'm going to get my shields right back against this Kingdra because I have an energy lead. I'm going to be able to get to the second Dragon Claw, and I'm going to be able to swap out into my Jellicent, and I only have to land a Shadow Ball from here. So they're going to be throwing an Outrage here, more than likely, but Jellicent can tank it. Again, my Jellicent's not even fully excelled, but that Outrage wasn't too threatening. I just don't want them to Dragon Breath me down that they would be able to farm down with their Talonflame. So they're going to bring back in their Talonflame, and I'm going to be reaching the Shadow Ball here. However, they are going to dump their energy. Still, this Talonflame is out of energy. They'll need 2 more Incinerates to get to the next Flame Charge, which will be enough to take me out, but I'm going to be able to Dragon Breath down before they get there. So GG's, well played to my opponent, but you can see in this first match, Poison Jab actually worked out better than Counter would have. Alright, looking at the next matchup, up against an Alolan Ninetales, so another fairy type. The Poison Jabs are going to be doing super effective damage, and this Alolan Ninetales is running Powder Snow instead of Charm. So I do have to watch out for these Weather Balls. They're going to be coming very quickly, and you can see the first one definitely hurts. It puts me in the yellow. Still, I'm going to be able to shield up this next one, build up to nearly 100 energy, and then just throw a Mud Bomb to take out this Alolan Ninetales. If they shield this, I have another Mud Bomb ready to go. If they want to shield that too, I can match shields and easily outpace them to the next Mud Bomb. So they decide to go ahead and let it go. I have a lot of energy still, and they come in with another Talonflame. So maybe this is going to have another Kingdra in the back, I'm not sure. Either way, I swap out into my Jellicent, and I'm going for the Shadow Ball. So they showed up the Shadow Ball, which makes me think they're weak to Jellicent in the back. But still, I'm going to no-shield this. If it's a Brave Bird, which it is, it's not going to take me out. Whereas if I would have shielded a Flame Charge, they would have boosted their attack, and then the Brave Bird would have taken me out. Still, I'm not going to shield this next Flame Charge either because I know that they are debuffed. I can come in with my Dragon Knight, and these Dragon Breath are going to be doing a ton of damage. So you can see I'm completely melting away this Talonflame and able to farm completely down before they throw the Brave Bird. That is beautiful. Now they come in with Shadow Machamp, and Shadow Machamp is so glassy, Dragon Claw would do a lot, but I'm going for the Hurricane to guarantee the kill or the shield because I have this Dynamic Punch banked on my Toxicroak. Thanks to Poison Jab, I was able to leave with all that energy, and I'm able to take the win thanks to that. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Poison Jab definitely came in clutch in that one. Moving to the next one, up against a Shadow Abomasnow. So both Counter and Poison Jab would do super effective damage. Of course, Counter would be doing slightly more super effective damage, so Counter would definitely be better in this situation. Still, I'm going to be able to go for the resisted Mud Bomb, and they're going to be in farm down range at this point. I can shield up 1 Weather Ball. I can eat 1, no big deal. It does put me in the red, but I'm gonna have to shield the next one, and then I should be able to farm all the way down and again have some energy coming out of this. So I do have energy coming out, just a Mud Bomb, not quite a Dynamic Punch. I'm going to be throwing it immediately in case it is something that takes me out quickly. But it was a Empoleon, so I probably could have made it to the Dynamic Punch, but it doesn't matter. I get a shield either way, so I leave this lead matchup with switch advantage and even shields. I'm happy with that. I can come in with my Jellicent now at this point, and all this Empoleon can really throw at me is Drill Peck. Everything else is resisted. Even if they were running Blizzard, of course, that would be resisted. I was expecting a catch, so I overfarm and they decide to stay in. So I'm going for the Shadow Ball here. It lands, it does a ton of damage, and now they're going to be throwing. I do have to shield at this point because this Drill Peck would put me very low, and I'm thinking that they're weak to Jellicent in the back. I'm trying to Hex all the way down. I build up to 100 energy and I realize I'm not going to be able to Hex all the way down, so I catch on my Dragon Knight. This will be hitting for Okay, well, I don't know why they threw the Hydro Cannon. They should have gone with the Drill Peck. But either way, it's a Shadow Machamp in the back. I'm going to go ahead and just throw this Dragon Claw because I know it's going to do a ton of damage. And they're going to have to leave here with a move for my Jellicent, which they're not able to. So I'm going to be able to reach this next Dragon Claw, and this will take out the Shadow Machamp. So that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. So you can see, Counter would have been better in that situation, but Poison Jab was still viable. Moving into the next one, up against a Galvantula lead. So here's another one where Poison Jab is actually better because of Counter would be resisted. Poison Jab is going to be hitting for neutral. So we CMP tie here. Galvantula does win CMP against my Toxicroak. I think if my Toxicroak was all the way maxed out, it would be kind of IV dependent, but either way, this Galvantula does win in this situation. And right here, I should not have thrown this Mud Bomb. I'm kind of wasting my energy. I should have been able to farm down after shielding once, but that's okay. It is the lunge, they debuffed me, and I decided I'm going to undercharge this Mud Bomb, so I'm going to get just a slight bit of farm here, and just one Poison Jab takes them out. They're going to come in with a Escavalier, so the counters are resisted. I'm going to be able to build up to a Dynamic Punch, and then I swap into my Jellicent to catch this Drill Run. Except for it's an Acid Spray. Well, no big deal. They come out with a Shadow Swampert. I want to talk a little bit about what I do here. So Swampert is either going to be running Earthquake or Sludge Wave, never both, right? And most of the time in the Ultra Premier League, it's going to be Earthquake. But if they're running Sludge Wave and I shield up a Hydro Cannon, I have a chance of losing here. If they throw the Earthquake, I can safely come in with my Dragonite and not have to shield anything right here. So I know this is just going to be the Hydro Cannon and it is resisted. So by saving my shield, I'm able to handle this Swampert a lot better than if, like I said, if I would have got baited, I would have been in a little bit of trouble with this Swampert. So I'm able to take them out without committing my shield, and they come back in with their Escavalier. I'm building up to the Hurricane, and they are throwing, I'm expecting it to be the Acid Spray, but I'm still going to commit my shield because it's just a little bit too risky to not shield that. Able to make it to the Hurricane regardless. Let's see if this gets the shield. Yeah, no, they just let it go. I did have the Dynamic Punch banked on my Toxicroak, so I would have been able to combo them if they decided to shield that one. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Moving into the next one, up against a Jellicent lead, it really doesn't matter what you're running. Toxicroak is going to struggle against Jellicent. So I have to swap out, and they answer my Jellicent with a Galvantula. So this is looking like a hard counter team. I go for the Shadow Ball, and I do get a shield, which is great for me. And I'm not going to show whatever they throw here. If it's lunge, I survive, but it's a discharge. So they have a ton of energy still on their Galvantula. I'm going to have to come in with my Toxicroak, and I'm going to be racing for the Mud Bomb. Of course, they're going to throw here. I no shield, hoping it's a lunge, but it is the discharge, which definitely hurts. But it's okay. I can overfarm and throw the Mud Bomb right before they get to this next attack. So I threw it in the middle of their Volt Switch, and it is enough to take them out. Now I'm expecting the Jellicent to come back in, and in the back they have a Shadow Machamp. So Shadow Machamp was everywhere when I was playing these battles. I'm not going to shield this. I know it's just the cross chop. They did not build up to the Rock Slide, but they're kind of just playing dumb with me because they know that they can do a lot of damage with these cross chops still. I go for the Dragon Claw. They shielded. Now I do still have two shields, but they're at another cross chop. So I have to commit a shield here, and I'm going to have to commit to the farm down. If they get to another cross chop, I am definitely in trouble. Able to farm them down. I'm going to be able to get to the Hurricane against this Jellicent. However, I cannot stay in because the Jellicent will be able to hex me down. Now, Toxicroak is a little bit better here with Poison Jab than Counter because Counter is double resisted, whereas Poison Jab is only single resisted. Unfortunately, I caught a Bubble Beam on my Toxicroak, so now my attack is lowered, and this Mud Bomb is going to do less. I really needed for that not to happen. They're going to get to another Bubble Beam here, and this is going to take out my Toxicroak, but I still have my Dragonite, and I'm going to be able to Dragon Breath down with 1 HP, and that's all thanks to Poison Jab being single resisted versus Counter, which would have been double resisted. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Poison Jab came in clutch. Moving to the next one, up against another Charmer, or not a Charmer, but another Fairy type, and they're going to swap out immediately into their Talonflame. Now, I bank some energy, and I go into my Dragonite, going to go straight for the Dragon Claw here, which is a mistake. I should definitely let them throw the Brave Bird first, and then if they threw the Brave Bird, I could just farm down. If they didn't throw the Brave Bird, at that point, I could have thrown my move. because now I have to commit a shield and I'm able to farm down, but they're going to come back in with their Alolan Ninetales, which is going to be heavily resisting all my dragon type attacks. I'm going to have to go for the Hurricane. Let's see, can I make it? Yes, I make it to the Hurricane, but if I wouldn't have thrown that Dragon Claw, I would have been able to bait here before going for the Hurricane. So I do get a shield with the Hurricane. We have even shields and I have switch advantage, so I'm still in a good situation. It just could have been better. Because this Alolan Ninetales now has a ton of energy. I'm going to use my next shield, hoping it's a Gleam. It is a Gleam, so good shield on my part. And they have Obstacle in the back, going straight for the Dynamic Punch. Let's see if they expect it or not. Boom, get one shot, get out of here, Obstagoon. And they're going to come back in with their Alolan Ninetales, able to make it to this Mud Bomb. This is going to get their final shield, and I don't think they're going to be able to get to another Dazzling Gleam before... Okay, they're throwing already. Is this a Gleam? Oh, it is a Gleam. Okay, so it is a Gleam, no big deal. I can come in with Jellicent, and one Shadow Ball is going to take out this Ninetales. Even if they were able to get to a third Dazzling Gleam, that would not take out Jellicent. So that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. So Toxicroak with Poison Jab's looking really good in some of these battles, but keep in mind some of these could be better with Counter, and this is one of them. So Counter would be doing more neutral damage than Poison Jab against this Goodra, and I'm going to be building up and going straight for the Dynamic Punch. Now they're throwing, I know this is just a Muddy Water, but it does put me in the yellow, which is not great for me because I'm going to be able to go for this Dynamic Punch here. And then I'm going to try to reach another one, but you're going to see I'm going to die as I'm getting it. I should have really just gone for the Mud Bomb. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. That's okay though. I'm going to come in with my Dragonite. I'm going to be taking super effective damage from the Dragon Breath, but unless they're running Draco Meteor, I don't have to fear much. I'm going to shield once in case they do have Draco. It's just a Muddy Water. So they swap out into Politoed. I did have an energy lead, so I'm going to be able to reach this Hurricane before they get to a Blizzard. They're throwing as I get there, so I'm thinking, yeah, that can't be a Blizzard, and it's not. It's a Weather Ball. So I'm going to be able to throw this Hurricane, and let's see if they want to shield. No, they no shield, so I'm going to be able to Dragon Breath down with no fear of them throwing a Blizzard now. So I can no shield this. It's just the Weather Ball, and I'm going to be able to farm all the way down. Beautiful. What else do you have for me? They're going to come in with a Nidoqueen. Yay, everybody's favorite Pokemon, right? Guys, I'm so annoyed with Nidoqueen. If you're annoyed with it like I am, let me know in the comments down below, but it is so annoying in the Ultra League. I'm going to go straight for the Ice Beam, and they catch on their Goodra, which I think is a misplay, because I think they could have reached a Power Whip on their Goodra and done super effective damage to my Jellicent, but I'll take it. They do throw the Earth Power here. I did not want to use my shield, even though I figured it was the Earth Power, because if they threw the Poison Fang and then the Earth Power, it would have done a lot more damage. So saving my shield for the last possible moment, and I am at the Ice Beam here. But look at this. Nidoqueen is bulky in the Ultra Premier League. Yeah, I'm so annoyed with it, guys. So like I said, let me know in the comments below if you are too. Let me know that I'm not alone, please. Moving to the next one, up against a Shadow Dragonite lead. That's still a tough lead for Toxicroak, and they have that game was over very quickly, and normally I wouldn't include a game like that in the video, but that was the final game for a 5-0. So let's go. Poison Jab Toxicroak is definitely viable. It definitely has some play in the Ultra Premier League. Now, I have a few more battles, stick around for them, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. I think Counter is still better in 90% of situations. That extra damage from Counter is going to be helpful in all neutral situations, and most of the time you're going to be throwing neutral moves, not super effective. So I'm getting a lot of good leads here, and a lot of leads that would be resisting Counter, but overall Counter's probably still better. Moving to the next one, up against a Swapper lead. So again, Counter would be better there. They swap out into Gengar. Now they were slow on the swap, so I'm able to reach the Shadow Ball, and we get a shield with it. I'm okay with that. And they're going to be able to throw here, and a Shadow Punch will just about, if not for sure, take me out. I think they undercharged that one just slightly, which was a perfect undercharge because I was one hex away from getting to the next Shadow Ball. So I have to come back in with Toxicroak, and I'm going to commit a shield because they have enough energy for a Shadow Ball, but it's a Shadow Punch. So at this point, I'm thinking they're probably running Sludge Bomb and not Shadow Ball. I'm not going to shield this next one. but it's a Shadow Ball. Come on, man. Come on. So they are playing this perfectly so far. Can Dragonite clean up for me, though? Let's see it. Able to Dragon Breath down the Gengar, and they have a Escavalier. So I'm going to go straight for the Hurricane. This will just about one-shot, maybe one-shot the Escavalier. If it lands, let's see it. Yeah, it one-shots. Get out of here, Escavalier. And of course, Swampert comes back out. Now, I don't have to fear the Hydro Cannon just yet. The first one is not going to take me out. So luckily they were not running Sludge. I'm going to try to build up to 2 Dragon Claws and throw them back to back. That is what I need to win. Or at least that's what I think I need to win. So they're throwing the next Hydro Cannon, and I have it. Can I throw these back to back? Come on. First one is going to get the shield. There's the shield, and the second one was a CMP tie. So they're going to take out my Dragonite, but Toxicroak had a Mud Bomb banked. I didn't know. I thought I was 1 Poison Jab short, but I'm able to throw it into the Swampert and take them out. So GG's. Coming in clutch, Toxicroak. Let's go. Moving into the next one. By the way, I know that guy was mad. He was mad. He threw his phone into space. I'm going to call NASA to pick it up for him. But up against a Shadow Dragonite lead, and they swap out into a Shadow Machamp, looking like the same team as the one that Rage Quit earlier. But why would you swap in Shadow Machamp if you're not going to just throw the payback? It has to be payback, right? I'm going to throw up a shield. Yeah, it's payback. There's no other reason, especially since they let that Shadow Ball go through. I knew that they weren't going to be able to make it to the second move. So now I have a ton of energy on my Jellicent, and I have Switch Advantage, and they come out with a Galarian Stunfisk. So here's the bulky Excelmon. Let's see how much this Shadow Ball does. Yeah, it tickles. Golly. That thing is so bulky, right? Going for the next Shadow Ball. This will be putting them at least into the yellow if they no shield. Yeah, it puts them into the yellow. So a third one will actually take out. So I'm in a pretty good situation here. This is probably the Earthquake. I'm going to let it go through because I know Jellicent can survive. And they snipe me with their Shadow Dragonite. So their Shadow Dragonite has an energy lead and they have shield advantage. This is going to be tough to get out of. So they're throwing their first Dragon Claw here, and they're definitely going to be able to outpace me to the next one. I'm going to be able to get to 1, of course, but that's only going to get off the shield. But I go for the snipe with Poison Jab Toxicroak. They thought that I was running counter because I had not shown them what I was running yet, and they thought that they had time to figure out what they needed to do. But those Poison Jabs take out the Shadow Dragonite, so GG's. Well played to my opponent. That one felt real good, guys. Into the next one. Up against a Ferrothorn lead. They assume I was running counter, so they swap out immediately, and they bring out Jellicent. Now, I was slow to the swap, so I could not answer with my own Jellicent. So I go ahead and chip with a Mud Bomb, and I come in with my Dragonite. Now, I'm hoping that they're not running Ice Beam since they're running Bubble, and they're not. Thank goodness, it's just a Shadow Ball. Going for the Dragon Claw here, I was charge your phone, kids. Charge your phone, everybody. There's another battle that I did not include in this that I actually had another low battery notification come up, and it prevented me from throwing a charge move, and I lost that battle. So charge your phone. But I'm able to take out the Jellicent after committing 1 shield, and I have some energy. They come in with a Scrafty, so I'm going to go straight for the Hurricane. Let's see if they expect it. If not, this will do a ton of super effective damage. But they shield. No big deal, because I still have Toxicroak, which has Dynamic Punch on it. So they're going to be throwing here. Everything is resisted from Scrafty. No reason to shield this. It is the foul play, so whatever. No big deal. Now, I didn't want them to be able to get to another foul play, so I go straight for the Dynamic Punch here. And this does take out the Scrafty, so that's beautiful. But we still have to deal with this Ferrothorn. I forgot about the Ferrothorn. I am going to have to shield up the Power Whip here. This would be enough to take me out, but it's a Mirror Shot. No, that's not good for me. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Mud Bomb before they throw at me again, and we get the shield, which is a good thing because now I can come with Jellicent and throw the Shadow Ball. They are going to be hitting me with a Power Whip here. Jellicent should be able to tank it. Yeah, it hurts. It still hurts, even though it's a Power Whip from a Pokemon, but hopefully this Shadow Ball puts this Ferrothorn very, very low. Let's see it. Come on. And it tickles. It doesn't even take out half of their health. Are you kidding me? No. So they're going to be able to take me out with this next Power Whip, but if I can get to another Mud Bomb, I'm still okay. Yeah, no, they're throwing. This should be the Power Whip, which will take me out, but it's a Mirror Shot. Okay, come on. Get to the Mud Bomb. Get to the Mud Bomb. All right, it's another mirror shot, which will be enough to take out my Toxicroak. So if I had counter, I definitely would have been able to take that dub. But since I was running Poison Jab, I take the L on that one. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Definitely a game that counter would have came in clutch. All right, so final thoughts, guys. Like I said, I think counter is still king. But if you're looking for a substitute poison type, Poison Jab Toxicroak is viable. You can win games with it. You saw I had a 5-0 with it. I actually went on an 8-game win streak when I was starting with it. So I think that it is still strong, just not as strong as counter. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I upload Pokemon Go Battle League content twice a week. And that's it. So until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.